Cheers, Celeste.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk number, what is it, 384?
Yeah, we've been gone for 2 weeks, like
Yeah.
starting this brand new all over again.
We were just talking to each other because we didn't know the last image of the intro, and
I don't remember it, even though I stare at it every Sunday for not 8 years, because we've changed it once or twice. But yeah,
well, even so, this one's been around for, God, at least a year.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah.
This is since Eric and Henrik.
This one, no.
No? Was it edited?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up, but
it's just the outro is still the same.
Yeah.
We don't watch that.
Well, they always still have a place in our hearts, at least in mine.
That's it. Exactly.
And they're welcome whenever they want to come back and join on. That's per usual.
I'm curious, how much did Eric's Bio Remote 1 collection grow?
Well, I'm more curious how many of them are still in one piece, right?
But with Atelier now, he's fucked because there's like 30, 40
he also
colors.
has a rambunctious kid, right? So
yeah, but you designate like a silver beater remote, and the rest you don't touch. You just have them on display, right? Yeah, 30 SDB wall brackets, right? And I think so at some point.
You were definitely like that, right? When your parents said don't touch, you were like, oh, this is golden rule. I'm not ever touching that.
No, but I was careful with it. I was very careful with it. I remember getting caught playing video games on the Atari computer back in the day when I was not allowed, and I didn't realize that the fucking screen heats up. So my dad came in, put his hand on the back of the monitor. You played? I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. I'm like, sure you didn't. So yeah, don't lie, people. Anyways, let's do some shillings and move on with our lives. I'm sure people are dying for it.
Yeah, go buy some covers at skinnyplay.com and use the promo code for 10% off. It's always a good place to be. Links are also in the description. Also, go to our friends over at Tigrino Studio and buy yourself an aluminium cover for your theater. Also, with links, link is also in the description for that. And you get 10% off. We have Buy Me a Coffee. If you buymeacoffee.com/BOWilly, which is a guaranteed way to your question, answer, and or topic to the best of our abilities and within legal reason.
Well, it's getting tighter in Canada, shit.
Well, I mean, if you're under NDA, right, you can't tell you're under NDA. So if you ask something specific about something that we can't talk about, then I'm sorry ahead of time, but you also can't say.
That's right.
So there's that. So buymeacoffee.com/BeoWilly. And Steve is out for Easter, but still give him a visit. Soundsheavenly.com.
Pre-order your cables.
Yeah. The best cables. And I think probably one of the few that actually test the cables before they go out.
Mm-hmm. I'm still debating if it's worth bugging him to make a SCART to Super Video or the AV 9-pin cable to the back of the either Avant or the V1 and just have it like a workout TV with the old P90X DVDs on it. Because that works.
So you can watch some old-ass workout DVDs or something.
That's it. And then
Billy Blank's Tybo.
That's it. But I wonder if it's even worth it. I still have the Oppo player, so I don't know. Maybe I'll hook that up. It's got a better picture, I guess, and upscaling than the old school Bio Center 2.
All right. How was your weekend off?
It wasn't really a weekend off, to be honest. We had more or less a Mission Impossible job on Saturday that was kind of accomplished. We had to pull a cable from few cables from the conference room to the TVs that were pretty much around the fireplace in I think close to 250, 300-year-old building around there. And we
So
had
you
to
never know what you find in the walls.
and we had to go through the restaurant that is in the basement that I didn't even know existed. So
Okay.
it was a fucking not a disaster because we had to build a tent around where we had to work.
Yeah.
Because the air conditioning, basically the way that it's designed in the restaurants, usually it pulls everything through the kitchen out, right? So you don't have the smell of the kitchen coming into the restaurant place. So at one point, I looked like fuck, the whole just a trail of dust. I'm like, dude, we need to contain this even more than it is. And yeah, it was not a fun day. It was full day. I came home at 5:30, I think, 6 o'clock almost. Beat completely. But yeah, go in with a 2-inch SDS bit through I don't know how much tile and concrete because it's old and dirt, right? Because it's compacted on it. It was a fun weekend, that's for sure. And Sunday I didn't do anything because it snowed. So I didn't even go out because we had like 15 centimeters and then it all melted. So yeah, it was not fun at all.
God,
Not
I'm
fun
so
at
happy
all.
to be done with the snow.
Yes.
I mean, this is too late in the year to have that much snow. Like, what the
bro,
hell?
it's like it's dragging like a snot on a sleeve this year. It's just too much. It's too much. Today, like it snowed a little bit yesterday too. Just come on already. I want to
We're
put my
nearly in
snow broom
April.
away. Pretty much.
Yeah, good God.
So yeah. Guess on the other news is that Toronto store is coming very close to opening. I think August is when they're starting to go online. So
All
good
right.
news for Torontonians. I think it's on. I don't know. I don't remember the street but it's I think like York Street or something. Downtown, prominent, very nice.
At least you have somebody that speaks your own language.
Yeah. So there has been a conversation already. So I'm thinking, whatever happens, happens. But I am hell bent on moving out of Montreal by the end of. I'm not renewing my lease in this apartment again. I don't think it's just too
Pourquoi,
much.
monsieur? Pourquoi?
Fuck it, because I'm just sick of it here, dude. But
I
then,
mean,
do I
the
want to
food
go to
doesn't make up
Toronto?
for it.
Not anymore. But the roads. I think the roads are killing me here. Like I literally can't drive my own car without knowing that you can't look down. You can't look anything other than ahead of yourself because in 4 years that I've been here, I went through 3 different tires that I popped on 2 different potholes. So it gets expensive and it gets very frustrating, right? Because it's never on it's always on a turn off or a fucking downtown. Like it always happened to me on downtown rush hour, right? You pop both wheels. You have one donut. What do? Flatbed the truck.
Yeah.
Or flatbed the car. Yeah. So I just and this year the roads are epic, like epic bad. I've never seen Montreal road this bad, and I guess I haven't ever lived in Ireland long enough, but 4 years is long enough to say that it's just going downhill.
God, has it been 4 years already?
Yeah, man. 2026, bro. In August, in September, it'll be 4 years that I've been in Montreal. Time flies. Just get fucking older. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting time right now. It's definitely an interesting time right now. And yeah, since the rocket started flying, it's the gas is like insanely expensive now. No, the Florida is still a plan, 100%, 100%. That's the plan B, or to go to Toronto, if anything. And even from Toronto, I would move to Florida. I wouldn't unpack the way I've unpacked here for the last 4 years. I would just leave everything in the storage locker and live in maybe a fully furnished apartment for the time being. But at least I would go, if I were to go to Toronto, I would at least, train some people, how to do the proper installations there, because I don't think that they really have anybody there at all other than Aslam, but I will spare my comments for that guy. So I would, if that's the case, I would go there for maybe a few months at the most, and just, you know, because I really don't want to do another winter in Canada, especially not in Toronto, where they don't really deal with the snow the way that Montreal does, where they actually remove it from the city. They just pile it on sides higher and higher. So, and they got just as bad, if not worse, storms than we do.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's
Well, come
that's
to
it.
Florida. That way we can go pet some elephants.
That's it. How was that?
Really fucking cool. It's this elephant sanctuary. They have, what is it, 6 or 8? I forget now.
Mm-hmm.
Some Asian elephants and some African elephants. One of the, I think it was one, but it might have been 2 of the elephants of the African variety came from the Neverland Ranch, Michael Jackson's place.
Hmm.
And essentially what they do there is just feed them and have a fun life. Like, no more tricks, no more, like, do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all quite a bit older. I think the oldest we saw was like 39 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, they're just there to meet people. The elephants kind of like it. They they sniff you all over, literally, like that trunk goes down your whole
That's
body.
funny.
And yeah, I mean, you get to pet them as well. I
Nice.
mean, they're behind this little fence that, if they wanted to, really won't stop them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is there, and they're sort of, you can like give them some food or whatever, and yeah, really worthwhile. It's really quite interesting. You have to be careful what you say, because like there's the trick words, right, and they still respond to it because they never ever forget it.
Hmm.
So if I don't know, if one of them is ever learned to sit, right, and if you say it
Mm-hmm.
forcefully enough, like even like, I'm gonna sit right here, the elephant may just sit down.
That's it.
Yeah. So yeah, very worthwhile. Very interesting. They're huge. Like, we all know that, right? But
Mm-hmm. But when you see them in person, it's a different story, especially when they're up close.
I mean, to look at their eye, right? I'm looking like that.
Fuck, you know, you're a tall guy too.
And then in kilos, I think the one they have is not aren't that huge,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still like 3,500 kilos.
Fuck.
I mean, apparently they eat on average something like 125 kilos of food a day.
Well, yeah, if it's 3.5 tons, it's not that, you know, and it's only grass, right?
Well, they also have all this specialty food, but yeah, it's really interesting. It's really nice. I will probably go back again just to pet the elephants, because it's really cool.
Maybe I'll join you, because I haven't seen them up close like that, like personal. I've seen
Yeah,
elephants before in the zoo, right? But it's different when you looking at them from the enclosure that are like they're 30 meters out, right? It doesn't communicate the same presence as being up close to that thing.
it's crazy to think, right? Like, way back in the day, history lesson, right? When Hannibal was attacking Rome, that he had war elephants and he took these fuckers through the Alps.
That's crazy. How
Like,
much
he
food they had to
literally,
bring with them too, if you think
yeah,
about
he
it.
literally walked them from modern day Tunisia through Spain all the way to Italy, through the Alps and down and up and down Italy.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, oh, I just can't imagine being Roman and seeing that coming at you. And it's like, what the fuck do you do?
It's a different tank, I guess, at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that was very, very cool. Highly
Nice.
recommended if you're in the area.
So I've been living with these graceful Beo-Gracises.
Yeah.
People keep asking. It's the memory foam tips are for the iPad. iPad AirPods Pro 1 and 2 version. The AirPods 3, I guess it's the new ones.
Yeah.
They don't fit. They're slightly narrower diameter than the grays, so they don't fit. So I did some listening on through the case. Finally found the hard
Yes.
drive, right? So I had some time I spent on it, and I've also listened to the title through the case, through the phone. Minor improvement in sound quality. But I do get, which I think it's the problem from the LG panel behind me itself, because I am connected to it, so it does do the simultaneous connection. Never a problem in the phone, always a problem in the TV. They crackle. You can't adjust volume because the earbud that you're adjusting with, either volume up or volume down because they're left or right, they crash. And you have to put both. Yeah, you have to put both in the case, put them back. They boot instantaneously. I have to say, they boot instantaneously. I also seen somebody on Discord talking about not what is it, out of sync charging, I guess, or imbalanced charging, where one earbud, like it happened to me a few times when one earbud was 100 and the other one was 1%.
Yeah.
It happens more with the memory foam pads than the rubber ones, and it's simply just how they are when they are in the case. They don't quite connect to those pogo pins on the bottom of the case.
Connect to one but not the other.
Not the other. So I recommend when you do that, just push them in manually, like, with your hand, because even though it's such a small tolerance, it does obviously matter that I've come across that. And then they never have issue. They charge fully, and I'm still charging them to 100%. Maybe I'll change that in 6 months time to put it to 95, just to see if I can preserve the battery, right? Because you can do that in the settings. What I don't like is that if you do listen through the case, you don't have a choice to like modify, even if you're sometimes pushing in 24-bit 96 kilohertz or 92 kilohertz. It doesn't indicate it on the case, so I don't know if it's doing it. Also, you're not able to utilize the virtualize and immersive functions of the headphones or earbuds.
Interesting.
Which I don't understand why, because if I connect them if I connect the earbuds Bluetooth to the phone and listen to Deezer, it says that you can't, the streaming quality is compressed because you're listening to over Bluetooth or streaming over Bluetooth, whatever it says. When I go to this, it goes to full 44.1 96 kilohertz or whatever it is, whatever the track is. So I'm unable to find anything that is Dolby Atmos that shows in the case playing as a Dolby Atmos. And then also you don't have the immersive function available. So that whole up mixing, I guess, whatever, is not functional or doesn't work.
I wonder if that's software lagging or just not doing it.
I suspect it's because it's a zero latency, which is kind of interesting. Like if I connect the case directly to my phone and I play my Command and Conquer game, very important, right? There's a zero latency between the taps and the actual, like, let's say whatever these little soldiers say, right, as they take the order and move. Where if I do it through the Bluetooth, there is about, I would say, 50 to 75 millisecond delay between it. So it's very hard to play because you kind of hear shit after it happened, right?
Yeah.
And not that I'm a gamer, but I've played games all my life, small or big, whatever. Now it's on just a little cell phone game. But it still is annoying, right? If you'd have that delay in sound versus what, it's just the same thing. Like you can't really consume video sources off the theater in other rooms and have the theater playing the same volume. You have to turn the theater down and just have everything else around the house play and stream that if it's a YouTube music or whatever, or title as I download it. I do have to say, comparatively to EXs, it's a big step, I think, in quality of sound, especially in the higher end notes and how more airy and more detailed these are.
Do the tips improve it at all with the soft phone?
The tips improve it tremendously, especially like in a stay put area. It's not something that I would say that it's now a complete game changer versus the rubber tips
Yeah.
as far as the noise cancellation. I don't find that it does more probably than 1 or 2 dBs on the taking down a little more. I think a lot of this is in the microphones that this is doing, most of it, if not everything.
Yeah.
So they harvest a little better or harvest a little more noise cancellation, I guess, or quietness. But I usually just have them on noise canceling all the time because the sound quality doesn't change like on some previous versions of the EXs or E's or E headphones, right? Or earbuds. Or even the H8s when they were like
Well,
an
even
ES
these
that they
get a bit
had.
strange when they're on, right? Like it sort of
hmm
it
So
weirdly deadens everything around you.
yeah, so these I don't find that I have that ear fatigue that I normally get from noise cancellation headphones. But yeah, the sound quality is superior. It's I had a service call in fucking hour and a half away from the city, right? So I figured, you know what, I'll take them with me. It's an hour and a half. They're not gonna die, right? Because by the time I come back from the whatever I'm doing, it's another hour and a half drive home or 2 hours. They're gonna be charged because they're in the case. But it's almost a weird sensation to not be able to hear your car completely driving. And dude, I got ladders and shit jiggling in the back. Can't
Yeah.
hear anything. Can't hear anything. Do the window down. You can feel it, the turbulence on your side, but you can't really hear the window throbbing. So it's a very, very, very good level of noise canceling in those earbuds. But also the sound quality. Yeah, it was just a pleasure to drive this freaking Dodge Caravan with shit jiggling in the back, and not just listening to the sound of engine and the speed of wind and whatever whistles between the wipers. So very, very, very happy and very satisfied with the earbuds. But they do have their quirks. One is specifically just connecting to the LG panel, but I think that that's not the fault of B&O in any way. It's more or less the fault of the panel's Bluetooth. I don't know if it's old or aging or whatever, but I use it more or less every day, and especially when I got the Grace, because the noise canceling, like when you have the stove going on or whatever, you can't hear shit, man. And
Yeah,
also
that's
it's
always
better.
pleasant.
Yeah, it's also better noise canceling of the whatever comes in, you know, on your side of the call as extraneous noise to the
Yeah.
other people, right? Where it's more or less like the AirPods, where you have the caller on the other side has no idea that you're mowing a fucking lawn.
Yeah, that's still crazy to me with AirPods, right?
hmm So these are made basically on the same level. Yes, there's still a stress of like, God forbid, especially when I'm taking them out on the street, right? Because you don't want to fucking and drop it in a mush of snow on the concrete.
Well, snow is preferable to concrete.
But yeah, so yeah, the case definitely works. The leather one, if you are traveling somewhere or going around, because they do not open and fly out when they're in the leather case, of course. So that saves it. Also, it saves the case from getting dented. But other than that, I'm very, very happy with them. Very, very happy with the earbuds. So just minor quirks, and I've seen that on Discord that people were complaining about that non-simultaneous charge and whatever. But you just need to put the headphones or earbuds in. Make sure that you put
Honestly,
them in
I've had that
properly.
with every cased charging headphone. I've had
I've
it
had
with
it with the EXs as well. I've had it
I've
with
had it
the
with the
ones
E8s.
before.
I've had it with the AirPods. It tends to be like some dirt or something, right? Or
That's what I
just
was gonna say
enough.
too. That's just one speck of dust on the little niblet that doesn't touch, and all of a sudden you just come out with the 1% earbud after when you wake up in the morning, and it's a piss off.
I mean, this is something I bought like a year and a half ago. I went to Walmart and I bought this like bottle of, was it 99.7% pure alcohol or something like that?
hmm
I could have served you a drink.
That's a shit martini, bro.
But
That's a new fashion.
every 3 or 4 months or so, I take like my AirPod case, right, and just douse it, like literally open it, take the buds out, literally in there,
Yeah.
and it just stir upside down. Okay, let it go, not use it, and then it's fine for another few months.
Yeah, I do have rubbing alcohol as well. That's what I use to clean my cases and earbuds too.
Yeah, I mean, I go over the ear tips and everything. I mean, with
These I
the
haven't cleaned yet, but I'm wondering because they say you can just take them in the water and kind of clean them in the lukewarm water. Those memory foam ones. So I'm gonna try and see how much does that affect their lifespan over time. But I bought a 3 packs of medium, which are close to in comfort to number 2 size from the original packaging,
yeah,
because you get 5 sizes, right? So 1 and 2 is in the paper, and excuse me, 4 and 5 is in the paper, and the third one is what's actually the grays come with pre-installed. So it is. I like them. I think that it's a must, and I don't understand why B&O doesn't supply them yet. Or maybe it's something that the dealers can pick up on and just order a bunch of these memory, because it's the same company that does all of it, right?
yeah, but
So
maybe
get
there
them
needs
for
to
the
be a
grace.
logo on there, or they need to be black, or they need to be $50 or something, as in like double the price.
There's got to be some sort of a B&O tax on it, I guess, if you're gonna go for the B&O ones once they ever come out, if they ever come out. But no, I highly recommend doing them. They stay put way better through like the conversations. Usually when you yawn, that's where like the earbuds just try to fall out the most, and no issues whatsoever with the memory foam ones
Well,
or
most of
the.
the memory foam that you get with your B&O headphones, right, is very great. Like, I love
Mhm.
it, but after like 6 months, it literally rips apart and falls into like crumbs. Like,
Yes,
there's always this point where you sort of compress it, put it in your ear, you pull it out, and it's like it's split, and you sort of go like, "Is there shit in my ear?"
that's what happened to me coming home from your place. Where was I? On the second Charlottesville or whatever the fuck I was flying into.
Yeah,
I take my earbuds off, and the thing just like the foam just splits. I'm like, no, not have earbuds for the and then music for the rest of the trip. And you kind of try to fiddle fudge it in and whatever. I'm like, fuck. So now, like, that's part of the package. Once I go to Bahamas as well, I'm gonna take me the extra tips because A, I don't think that that's something that you can just easily find in Bahamas, and B, it's going to be obnoxiously expensive. So
yes,
I'm gonna prepare myself, and I'll still take the graces. I bought this freaking USB 5.4 Bluetooth antenna,
yes.
right? The figure like these are 5.3, 5.4 should work. Cannot get it to work on my laptop, and I think it's because the laptop and this desktop too. Like the desktop will install the driver, but it won't switch to that Bluetooth because the internal Bluetooth antenna has by default paired the mouse and the keyboard in it.
Yeah, that's most likely it. Yeah,
And if I disable that driver, I can't navigate the fucking screen.
yeah. Oops.
So yeah, that's going back. But I just wanted to see like if the Grace is as good as the Portals, but I don't think the Portals I think are the best for voice ear headphones or overall anything that you wearable from B&O. That is the best sound quality for voice.
Oh, for sure. Uh, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I would guess it's Rajen Deol or something. Anyway, what do you think of the setup? Premiere Beolab 8s as fronts and Beosanta Mertz as rears. Do it.
Yeah,
Great.
I would.
I mean, if you can go for, let's say, balances all around, right? That works too. If it's sort of a cost or from new thing.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, balances would have way more juice.
yeah, but there's with as is it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great
No.
setup. I mean, unless you have an enormous room, right? That's enough power for most standard size rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, no complaints. Good setup.
I would go with it.
Uh,
Or the future of B&O, given the recent earnings, I read rumors it may be bought up by private equity. I haven't heard anything of that. Wine, whatever your name here is.
Yeah, look, the rumor of private equity buying them out has been going around for the last decade, probably. So, if you
Yeah,
heard
it's been a
rumor,
while.
which private equity?
Exactly.
I mean, some Chinese firm. I think they bought a shit ton of stock in Volvo. They owned quite a lot of stocks or shares, but if they want to go further, I don't know.
Yeah.
The recent earnings, they're not terrible, but they're not great. They had a earnings. Well, it's not exactly a warning, but a guidance on a less profit than expected. Well, they've been staying flat forever.
Yes.
This is also in a larger trend of where like the whole AV business is sort of stalling out a bit. So I don't know what to make of it, right? Like, so I do think the previous CEO had a lot to do with this.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, for the same reason, I think something happened that never ever has happened before, is that something got a price reduction.
That's very new. Yeah, they're hiding it as a promo and whatever, but yeah, that's but they need to realize like you're just
What
pricing
do you mean they're
yourself
hiding it
out
as
of
a
business.
promo? It's across
The
the board.
emails. Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Europe, it's just straight up. I think it's either 900 or €1,000 less. Just straight up. We don't talk about the old price anymore.
Nice.
I mean, let's see. So it's
Yeah, once
this.
you start getting the wood on it, then it's
Yeah,
starts to
but
get.
this was the price with cloth before,
Yeah,
because it was
exactly. I
six
remember.
thousand
Yeah,
dollars
that's
with
true.
cloth. So it's
Jeez.
like $100 less with oak now. Like it's essentially $1,000 less, which is freaking great. I mean, I don't think this has ever happened in the history of B&O where they. God, how
I
long
don't
has
remember
this
it
been
ever.
out? Like 3 months, maybe?
A little bit
Well,
longer than that, I guess officially. But
announced, I guess. I mean, they were in that sort of earnings warning or whatever you want to call it, saying that this didn't sell as well as expected. Fair enough, but it was also literally not available here or in a
mhm.
lot of places, right? Like, if you just bought one, go back to your dealer because they will give you a credit for it.
Yeah.
And there is, I've
And
heard people.
you're not done with the premiere anyways if you just
Yes.
started to. So
Literally go to your dealer and ask for either a credit. Look, if your dealer is somehow being a dick about it, right? Just say, okay, I'm returning it then, and I'll just buy a new one. Do you want to physically do this or just want to do some paperwork?
exactly.
But other than that, I don't know, if you want a Halo or an Emerge or something like that.
Oh, they gave you a courtesy call already. Yeah, so you're safe. You're fine. Just get yourself a pair of Bio Grace. Give them another €500 and call it a day.
Or just give me well, it's €1,200 in Europe, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So just give me a set of beer graces. No more, no less.
Now we're even.
Yeah.
So.
Call it even. But I mean, I don't think this has ever happened before where it's so early in the line or ever really that the prices come down officially, not through deals or anything.
No, usually that goes the other way. After like this would be somewhere where we would have seen an increase, probably about $250 US or Canadian, whatever.
I mean,
So.
at the time of launch, I thought it was high, not exactly too high. The wood may have been too high. Right, like with the wood package, I would have almost expected that there was some sort of deal. If you want the oak, right, then let's say it's $500 more for the oak. But if you want to just buy the oak by itself, then okay, that's $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm not entirely surprised. I don't know what they were expecting in terms of sales, because it's just literally not been around. Like, yes, it's been announced. Yes, you guys made it. The anthracite is only just now available, right?
Yes. So how do
Which
you
is,
expect it to have portfolio being sold when you don't even have stock for it?
yeah. I mean, this to me is by far the best combo, if not just
I
straight up
think that's the
color.
nicest. Yeah, I think that's the nicest.
I mean, I do like the aluminium, but the wood kind of makes it a bit strange. So with wood, I'd probably go either naked or fabric.
Me too.
I mean, the gold is just
It's
not for
cold.
me.
No. Or black anthracite and bespoke or whatever atelier walnut cover.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, this launched in, was it October? Something like that. We went to 2 different dealers, right? And even Quebec-Son, like, they just couldn't get it until January.
Theirs was fucking lost after they received it. That was lost for like 2-3 weeks in somewhere in the UPS warehouse. So I couldn't even hear it before. I think they got it like a day before the 100th anniversary party that they had or some shit. Like, it was very tight. It was very, very tight. And then, yeah, we went to Orlando. They didn't have it, but Bob had it in Miami. So at least we got to listen to it. But yeah, like, come on. You've come out with it and you still don't have it anywhere.
Yeah, but we were at Bob's, right? Like, and they only had it for like a week or so.
Yeah.
And we were there, was it January 7th or something?
Some around there. No, January 4th, I believe.
Yeah, but it's like 2.5 months after launch, they finally had one. Like, whoop-de-doo. Like, you missed all of Christmas.
One of 2 open stores in the entire Florida had one.
Yeah. I mean, the other one had one on order for like 6 weeks, but the warehouse was shut because Christmas.
So, piss off.
And it wasn't their warehouse; it was the B&O warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just it makes no sense, but that they complain about it, but you don't supply the product to be sold.
Yeah,
it's the same with the Grace. Like, I really wanted to buy them the day off that they came out, but the store only got assigned like 4 pairs, and you had to go through like almost like a freaking car loan application just to get them. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll wait till my turn comes, and it always will, because why not be patient with it? And also the software stabilized now, so that's a plus.
I mean, I still very much like it, right? Especially back in the day, whenever anybody complained about the stage not having any external speaker capability, I always said, if they're going to do it, it's going to be at least $5,000. Well, it turns out I was wrong, because with this new price, it's actually, well, you can actually go without. So it's like, it's not bad at all. Like, this is great. It sounds very good. The look is kind of polarizing. I understand that. I personally like it. It's very unlike anybody else, which is kind of a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
The clocks have gone forward. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Ours did
for
like
y'all,
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was already. Still fucked me up though, man. I don't like this nonsense. I don't understand why we keep doing that. The war has been over for so long. Fuck.
I mean, yeah, it's like, this is what I on my end feel bad about, right? Because the customers will be made whole. It's the reviewers. Because if you made a review with any sort of price point in mind, right, it's okay, that's no longer valid. Because 20% off is not nothing. I mean, that's
It's a lot, man. 20% is a good. That's a hinging. That's a hinging trigger puller,
Yeah, very much
right?
so.
$1,000. Shit. You can put that to the new display if you're gonna buy a new TV with it, right? Like a G or C panel, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy it naked, so it's the naked price is probably what It- about in Europe anyway, like 3,900 or something, which is not all that crazy anymore compared to where the stage left off.
Hmm.
Because the wooden oak stage was like almost 3,000 euro at some point.
Yeah. It was expensive.
I mean, I think for most of us stage owners, right, we think the stage was a good deal because we bought it at launch. And at launch, it was like 12.50 or something for the black and aluminium.
Yeah, that was cheap back then. Jesus Christ, comparatively.
Yeah.
So I have another issue. And I don't know how many of you out there are on an ASC platform and are utilizing Tidal and all of a sudden have become unable to stream to it. So I've had this with BeoSound 1 now for, oh my God, it's been dragging on 2 weeks, almost 3, almost bricked it yesterday. So I've uploaded the first rendition of the software that it ever came up with, right, through the web interface, and rebooted, removed it from the app, deleted my app from the phone, reinstalled the app, relogged into the app, relogged into Tidal, found the factory reset BeoSound 1 because I also factory reset it after the software, added it, put the new version of software on it, which is the latest one, right? Whatever time that took to do. Beo Radio works. Tidal, it says cannot add to queue. And if I go directly in the Tidal tracks, you press a little heart. Why am I just talking about it when I can just show you? Let's show the class. Here we go.
In the meantime, if you are willing to answer the poll, people, I want to know if this price reduction has changed anybody's mind about purchasing it.
Barry, thank you for the coffee. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Barry.
So,
but yeah, I was right. 3,900 euro now bears any color, right? Like that is a lot better than almost $5,000 for no cover.
Yes.
I mean, this is like 1,300 euro or so more than the most expensive stage at the last of its life.
Mm-hmm.
And you get so much more capability. I mean, you have to pay through the nose to use it, right? But at least the initial sell is not so fucking mental.
Yes. Okay, I'm ready. I got this here. So let's go to window. Share. So let's go to our beloved BeoSound 1 in the kitchen. So if I go to settings, I don't know if it's going to do that or not. If I go to configure, if it shows the page here or not. Or does it pull up something? No, it does. Perfect. So we go to your content. Just to show you, Deezer, I'm not logged in. And sources in my local list. I don't remember if the title does show up in the latest software version or it's just replaced with music. I never noticed it because when they first came out with the title support for the ASC platform, I was still hell bent on using Deezer and such and whatever. But I guess the Grace kind of was the pushover. So, and also the sound quality, honestly, is a bit better on Tidal than Deezer now that I've been listening to it for a while. So this is what happens. We'll go back in here and we'll go back in here. I had to enable Chromecast, by the way, and I'm able to cast Tidal directly to the BeoSound 1 without any issues, but I cannot just go in and select it as a source. So
Title doesn't
here
show up in that list on my BeoSound 2.
doesn't, right?
No.
So streaming service titles, sign into titles. These are I'm not signed in. You can see here. So now we know what it all is. And then we'll go to tracks, and then we'll just pick one and go play, and nothing happens. See, it crashed the app.
Huh.
It crashed the app. But if I go to a BNO radio, put chill tracks on, let's say, you can obviously hear it, right?
Yeah.
Standby goes to standby. Old school, so it takes a little bit, right? Poof. And no source. So you can't even select the source like you used to be able to when it popped down, and there's nothing down here anymore. So this is it's a major piss off, because if you look on the layout, he is feeding my bedroom and he's feeding my office with title, right? That is joinable to the rest, because I cannot call up title sources from neither of the Mozart platform based products. Another thing that I don't know if they have forgotten about or not in the updating the softwares, there is no longer a place where you can set up your color of your BeoLab 90 and 50. This is gone. So, not that it's a piss off, because I rarely ever go here, obviously.
I wonder if you could only do it during initial setup once, or if it's completely gone, and if you ever were to factory reset them, it just defaults to black. I would almost hope or think that's not the case.
Yeah, but in the older apps, I have the old app on the still the white tile app. Remember, I have it on my old iPad, and I can go in there and change colors. So that is the problem with the title here now. Like, this just doesn't work. And if I go to bedroom, there are no sources here, but I can go here and pick up music and see, like, it shows everything. But title is kitchen, see? And it doesn't, like, if I play it, it's not gonna, I should have, let's see. That's now, it's fucking, if it turns on, I'll be surprised. But it does not. It does not.
What's strange to me is that it worked for a year plus, right?
Yeah, see? It fucking crashed the app, Collius.
Like, what the hell happened? Because it worked on all the ASE platforms for a long time now. Like, what changed?
So now, another thing that I had found on the app, which kind of sucks bollocks, right? Let's say we're streaming out of the theater, which nothing is playing here right now. So let's give them. Let's not do that, because it'll fire everything up. Let's just go to the bathroom and turn on chill tracks there, because then you can't even hear it. And then you can join all the rest of the products, right?
Yes.
If you join the Avant, which is fucking full bore inside there, which you join the Avant here.
Yeah.
If I unclick it, the next time you turn it stops the speakers where they are. It never retracts them. And the next time you power up the TV, it doesn't know that the speakers are expanded, so it starts to pull this whole speaker, and then it stops. So don't do that. So if you're listening to anything from, let's say, the bathroom per se, from in this case and scenario, go back to your bedroom and just shut it off from here, because that will correctly close the speaker and park it inside the TV. Otherwise, you are fixing to fuck this up.
So be careful
for
when the Avant is not the leader of the distribution in the
it
network.
can't be the leader because it doesn't have. The only way it can be a leader if I had the bloody BeoSound one possible to go with,
Huh.
because then he plays to, well, let's say the bedroom. The predominant difference between the interface from Mozart to ASC is that if you shut off the lead speaker as a, put it to standby or whatever, mute it doesn't affect the followers. Where if I turn off the lead Mozart, all of them turn off.
Yes.
Which I don't like. I don't like that idea. I think that it should be the same way. That if I'm, let's say, streaming from the bathroom and I join the theater, right? Because I like the track, whatever. But now I wanna, if I want to turn off the thing and turn on the YouTube, or I turned on the YouTube, it doesn't affect it. But you can't use an old standby command. You have to pull up the app and shut the level in the bathroom manually. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't have ability to follow without the lead speaker playing. If you pause the lead speaker for more than 3 minutes, it puts the entire system back to standby. That's what I found out. I like this new feature that they had introduced in the latest update. I don't know if it's just on beta yet, but it is fucking cool, where you have smart select, so you can prioritize active playback. So when you have your app shut off completely on your phone, and when it loads up to the currently playing product. So like in my house, if I have the theater playing, it automatically pops into the theater when you turn on the app.
I need to turn that on because so often at night I listen to headphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, and then go to bed and everything else is already off, and then I start watching something in the morning or whatever else. And you need to, I don't know, change something, listening position, whatever it is, right? It's like, fuck, I'm in these headphones that it can't connect to because they're no longer on.
Mm-hmm. No, they connect even with the Bluetooth. Like if I listen to Grace, let's say I'm outside and I open the app from zero, it goes directly to Grace when they're connected.
I'm gonna turn that on right now.
Yes, so that's something new I had learned. Is this fucker off or not? I don't know. Yeah, my TV's off.
Smart select. Prioritize active playback. Sweet.
So there's the new things that are in the app world here. If we go here to just standby to play music for no reason. So yeah, that's I guess the new features in the app. I also found out that oops, wrong tab. I also found out this is really cool as well. If you go to your settings and you set up your homes, I suspect that what you can do is, if you have more than 24 products, let's say, in your house, right? Let's say you have 8 on the main floor and another 16 per se of whatever trinkets spread throughout the second floor, right? Or the other way with the garage larger, whatever it be. You could do homes as floors, and then those products can be on separate Wi-Fi networks, basically, right? So you can manage them on different subnets, and you can just go to your home and see all the stuff. Like there is stuff that I have from different clients and stuff that is in the storage. But what I also found that reordering the products, you can do it here. So if you grab can I grab it? I can't grab it. But in the app, I don't know why, if it's the mouse limitation on the thing, but in the app you can grab it with the finger and move your products around. So I don't know why it doesn't let me do that with the mouse, but that's just oh, there we go. So you can just do that. So you can swap them around, and then that arrangement will directly reflect in the layout that you have in your default back again in your default page here. Because what I found, beating my head against the goddamn wall, is if you go to settings and then you go to products and then you go here and then you go reorder the products, it don't give a fuck on the layout. You see, the kitchen's first. It should be living room should be first.
Yeah.
Living room's on the bottom. So this is completely irrelevant. So this part of the page, in my opinion, for products serves, I think, only that feature to hide products from the list, the stuff that you don't want to see. Like, I don't want to see the Moment or another image that I have there. So, or BeoConnect Core, I don't care for seeing those in my setup, so they don't show up in the app. But that's where you can actually edit how this looks like if you ever have a need, because I know some people like, it doesn't make sense why it puts it there. So you are able to change it. It's just you have to change it under homes, and I suggest to create homes because they work now and they work very well. So that is all for today's lesson as far as the app goes and what's new in the B&O's world. And yeah, you learn something new every day, and default to the active product is a good idea to have in the app. I think that was very smart from them. Saves you a bunch of taps, right? Every time you open the app.
Yeah, that part I still liked about the older app a lot more, because you went to like your home panel of all the shit you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before this, whenever you opened the app, you always went to the last product used, which in some cases is fine, but
doesn't make sense.
That's
hey,
only
CBR, thank you as well for the coffee, by the way. Much appreciated.
Sweet. But if you, I don't know, slept, right? Most likely you didn't go to the product last used.
Well, exactly. Like, why would the fucking living room show up in my app when I'm in the bedroom?
Yeah.
No, this works. But it only works when you cold start the app. It doesn't work when the app is running. Like, let's say you shut it off and then you go to another room. Not shut it off. You just close your phone, right? And then you open your phone. It's still going to be on the living room, not bathroom per se, in example of my apartment.
Maybe I'm OCD, but I close almost all background apps all the time. Like if I'm done with it for now, literally it's gone. Like there's no reason this is loading in the background.
Goes through a roll of electrical tape a week to cover up his cameras on the phone. Fuck. Oh shit. So yeah, the app is coming along very nicely, and I like how light it is now, because I've uninstalled the bloody thing and I put it back on, and it was on like 72 megs or 76 megs to download the entire app, which used to be like 250 back in the day on the old platform that they had it on.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Yeah, the OS widgets are nice. I agree, but I never cared for them because I never had an OS operating system that would benefit from it. But I remember back in a day and time where there used to be widgets also for Android. This goes long time back when before BeoVision 12 was even cool. And that was on the Masterlink Gateway. And then, no, I think it was on BeoLink Gateway when they had the possibility to do the widgets on the Masterlink app.
I mean, it for a lot of people it would be nice, right? Especially if you have a more sort of work setup, or like some of the setups they show. Was it that Ryan Serhant, that real estate agent in New York, right? Where the whole office is all B&O everything.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you could just have a widget where you predetermine what comes on with radio every day.
Well, you can program that into the gateway. For me, what I would like to have is, I'm just kind of looking through it, but I don't think there is there Bio Living in my phone? No. But what I would like to do is add welcome and goodbye to those two as a buttons, right? I don't care for any crazy ass things as widgets, but I would just like to have a welcome and goodbye that you can just hit, and you know for a fact that by the time I crawl my ass up in the elevator, the apartment's already up and running. it's not that it's a first world problem, obviously, but
Yeah.
I do that with the remote control from the fob because I already have it in my hand when I get into the, through the lock, and then it just the A2 keychain or whatever it's called, the little silver disc, the old school BeoSound 2 looking thing, and that's just pop the light once. That's where the moment comes into play and turns everything on through the gateway, and that's it. I recently was able to program finally that it works. Uh, that when the motion camera or when the camera detects the motion in the front door, the living room camera that is constantly looking at these windows will turn itself to the hallway. But the problem is you can't do it with presets. You got to do it with the amount of time that it takes for the turret to turn. So you send it a send command, and then stop command is like 750 milliseconds later.
I was talking to, who was it? I forget, somebody over at B&O. And this is like, I don't know, a year ago, maybe a bit more. And I was asking them, like, is there a technical reason that, you know how if you just hold a my button, it saves whatever it was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, like, is there a technical reason if I have, like, let's say, radio playing on the living room system that is linked to radio on one of the M3s in the offices, right? Why I can't just save that? Because that would, for me, replace a lot of the BLI need.
Oh, you mean like, I guess the same compatibility that it used to be with the Eclipse per se to the NLML converter when you had a CD that you can save it as a my button and it just turned it on. Yeah, that's sad that I didn't do that because there are people still that utilize MCL NLML converters, even MCL converters to go further down the stream, like, don't want to drop names, but Anders with his latest, coolest fucking, I think, what is it, BeoCord 5500 that he cobbled together through the remotes. It's very cool. I just like how fast it is when you click the buttons on the Beo Remote 1, you can literally hear the click of the tape or whatever happens that was instructed it to do. Very cool. Very, very cool. So there are still people of that kind, right? I'm sure there is very few and far in between of us that do that, but it just I think shops more or less like to do that because that just proves the compatibility all the way back to before these people were even walking the planet,
Yeah, I mean, I just told them, right? Like, if that is a possibility, and apparently it's just code, right, that they never made. But I said, like, if that's the case, if you make something like one of these, right, this is going to live near my entrances and exits of the house, and just like radio or whatever other source, right, for the preset multi-room experience.
Mm-hmm.
Because currently there is no reason to put this near the exits or entrances anywhere, because like I'll just use the remote because it's faster, because it's very hard to join other things from here. But I can start the theater and join everything else from the theater remote, right?
Yeah, because if you convert it to Bluetooth commands, it doesn't do the light commands in Bluetooth, right? So it's only IR. And my buttons do not capture on BLI, oddly enough. You can set, let's say, a light function, whatever, to trigger a my button 1 on the theater, but you can't go the other way, saying that if I press my button 1, this and this happens in the house. I wasn't able to figure that out, and there's no way to, I don't know, maybe I would need to know Lua and see the inner code, whatever else runs in the fucking matrix when this happens. But other than matching the state of the product to what the my button is set, right? So the trigger event would be if the theater is on YouTube, stand preset kitchen, volume 50, now playing state update online. I wouldn't really do that one because it's always online. Or state update now playing, then all this, if that all is detected at one fucking time, then the other shit should happen.
Yeah.
That's the only way that I could. And I've tried it with a moment where I wanted to harvest the radio and video commands from that little keyring remote. Where if I press radio and if I can tune in CBC Radio 1 turns on volume 20 at state update and now playing, then trigger to play emerge chill tracks BeoNet radio. It doesn't want to work. It worked once. It works off of the flipping button when I fire the command in the browser, but it doesn't do the same thing for some weird reason when I shoot it through the light command, even though it's the same thing. So I don't understand that. So I gave up on that a little bit there. But I don't know. I think the best way to integrate it is keypads or Halo. Put fucking Halo everywhere and get a BLI, man. Just eat it. Just do it. Just don't.
Well, I mean, part of the reason at the time for asking it, which I still think is valid, is I think with the way they're developing the app, right, they kind of want to get out of the BLI world and have it all being app driven.
I don't have that same feeling.
I have a feeling that if they could all cram that into their own B&O app, right, they would. Especially with the how light it is now.
Yes. But here are a few things that face. Here's my face.
I know Chemo does its own magic and all that stuff, right? But if they can make it where it's sort of just tapping on icons like it is now, and if they can like cohesively make that work, I think they would migrate that under their own control completely if they could.
What I like about BLI, right? You have access to everything basically right on one platform, right?
Yeah.
Hi. So there's that. In this room here, I have, like, if I go to cameras per se, I have a hallways, which when I press this button, then this macro will trigger and the cameras will turn. It just takes a second, but they turn towards the hallways, both of them. This one should be, when it's updating the live stream, it's already looking in the hallway as well. You see my computer cable here. So there's that. When it comes to, let's say, sources, I'm at the hallway now. So if I go to, let's say, title per se, I don't know if it'll play because I never selected a song or activated it yet there. So let's go to just B&O radio because you know what you're playing there. It takes a while for it sometimes, and I don't understand why, to start playing. But once it refreshes, here's what I like. You have an old school remote control. Let me shut this down a little bit lower.
You even have the round volume control, which I actually kind of like more than that stupid slider left to right.
That's right. So this is what I like about this app, that it's got all of that. You have all your modes here. This gets a little out of fucking control when you're talking about the theater. You got your number pad, your up downs, ding ding, your colored buttons, your actual back, but that's the back for inside the menus and such, and that's it. Standby, you can do all standby or just standby one. So that is now gone from the app unless you stand by on the main account, and it goes from there. So that's that. What else was cool on this thing? Yeah, in the theater it's a little busier. Okay, in the theater, if I choose a source, let's go to B&O radio. So they're gonna fire up to 90s as well. Maybe not. So let's turn this down. The only thing that I don't like about this is if you go to more. Boom! What
Holy sources, Batman.
Yeah, like what is that? Speaker group, default, surround, kitchen, direct, nights, sound modes, speaker. Like, it's way too much, and there's nowhere to edit this. There's nowhere to edit this. So it's just like, this is what the theater shoots up, and yours would be unscrollable.
Yes.
Because you have so many. Like, I don't have I don't have that many presets within this environment, but it's more than enough. So that's one thing that kind of right. But I like this, that you have everything. Everything is at your disposal here. You can have access to cameras in every page of the house. Like, this integration makes way more sense to me than the actual B&O app. But if those two could be combined in that fashion, that would be sick, right? Like, if this pulled up as one, like, you can either control it this way, or there would be like just a local B&O app page. I think that would make sense then, more than anything. So another thing is, they should introduce the black or dark scene for the BeoLiving intelligence as far as the main splash page goes. But I could live with that, because everything else is dark afterwards.
Yeah, but this is where you get into those sort of little niggles and stuff like that, right? Where it's a different company doing it. So you can request it, but you can't force them.
Yeah. By the way, if you learned anything today, leave a like and maybe subscribe by mistake.
By mistake.
Click too many things. Shit.
It seems the round dial still has a
place in a lot of people's hearts. Well, in mine too.
In the sort of schizo world that is B&O, right? The remote for volume is round. The remote for volume has a round slider on it when you turn the round dial. When you go to the app, it's this stupid straight bar now.
Halo is around.
Yeah, that's volume. What I mean. That's the remote, right? For yes. Volume. Like, the whole thing is literally round. And when you look at the screen, it's round.
Yeah. Yeah, but once you go around, you never go sideways, I guess. But I agree. I still miss the old interface. I could care less how much real estate on the screen that takes. I'd rather sacrifice the size of the album art versus the utility of actual volume control.
Well, I mean, I've gotten used to it. Like, I'm not that frustrated, but it is not accurate, right? That straight slider, not as easy as it was to operate that round dial, because doing this, like, it's much easier to control where you are in the circle than, like, is this 50 or is this 54? Like,
yeah, right? And then you let go and it jumps either way or to either side, and it's just it's frustrating. I know exactly what you're saying.
I mean, also aesthetically, I just think come on, you are B&O. It's all quirky, right?
Indeed.
I mean, the last time I remember a cool flat sliding dial was it BV11 and 14 and maybe Avant, where it like went from the middle sideways on both sides, right?
Was for what? For the volume?
If you looked on the screen, you saw the number and the slider.
That was BV14s, I believe. It was the Android nonsense. But that particular feature should have been retained for the Premiere, where the volume should be going to meet both extreme sides from the middle, not just to go across, because those LEDs on the back other side will never be lit up. Never be lit up.
You got to be a madman or woman if you use that much volume on that system.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't even sound that good, because ABL would just give it a nice haircut on the bass.
Yeah.
So that's.
I mean, unless it scales, if you set a maximum volume of like 80 or something, right, and that the bar still goes to the new maximum of 80.
Mm-hmm.
But I doubt that somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, but round volume controller, I think they're not going to reintroduce it back. But I remember back from the yesteryears of Gateway, because now the new Gateway doesn't allow you to join products together for some stupid reason, unless I make a button in the scenes as a macro to join all the products. But I don't remember if it populates a line for every product volume that's added to the circle, that you can just go all the way down and then back all the way up, and then they all are in the same volume. I don't remember that. I don't really utilize it that way anyways in my apartment. But yeah, bring back the round slider for volume and curtains for the theater and Premiere and Harmony, or just LG altogether.
Yeah, just in the app. Like, I know you can't change it on the panels. Like, that's fine. Whatever.
It'd be funny if they could replace that LG screen logo that comes up at the end of when you turn off the screen with a small file that just closes. I don't know how that would mechanically work as far as the transparencies and all that, but
yeah, currently the only thing you can do is turn that off, like that you don't see the logo. Because I kind of hate that logo because it makes no sense, especially on the B&O systems, right? Like,
no, I just don't like it at all to begin with. It just looks tacky to me. That every time, gee, I'm like, for really, I don't want to.
I mean, it's sort of like buying, I don't know, some branded piece of fashion, right? Like, and then the logo is like this big, right? It's like, Jesus Christ.
DNG, fuck.
Yeah, like Dolce & Gabbana does that, right? Like, but also some of the others where like the horsey is like this big, right? It's like a quarter of your shirt. It's like, what the hell? Are you really that tacky?
Some people like it.
Like, are you really like desperate to let other people know that you spent excessive money on a fucking piece of cotton?
It was made in freaking somewhere in Mumbai or some shit for pennies on a dollar.
Probably, yeah.
But you pay $250 for it. Well, it's good fabric. Okay.
Happy birthday, by the way.
10 years of
90s.
BL90, 30th of March. Is that when they came out? Today's 10 years? That's no way.
Guy, it is. He's had them for 10 years. Yours are going to be 11 years old this year.
Yeah, mine are 11. Have some respect.
Because you probably got them in. Well, you never.
I got them. I got the first pair I got for my birthday. So I got them December 22nd, which was one day after my birthday. And those were faulty, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the white pair that I ended up getting that's for good, that came in March of 2016.
Because I think the technical launch was, what, September 3rd or something, 2015?
Yeah, November 17th when they came out, because we were in the soft launch of them, like November 2nd. No, November 13 or 12, something like that, when they finally showed us the speakers when I went to Denmark to do the factory tour.
But you never had a proper party and made your speakers a cake.
No, I did not. That's fucking cool.
I must say, these look like very suspicious white lines.
Hey, B, you did a great job at doing it for sure. You can definitely. I like that you towed them in too. Very, very cool.
Did the cake come with a straw?
It's just a big block of hash with a couple lines of sugar on it, right?
Sugar.
That's it. Well, even salt looks like sugar from far away. Fuck.
Like Colombian sugar.
That's it. So yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah.
I mean, they still look good. I still like them all blacked out like this.
Yes, I do like them black like that. That's a proper way to do it if you're going to go black. The oak just offsets it oddly for me. The bottom.
With the floor he has, I don't think it would look quite right.
No. And they don't offer that kind of a color. Well, I guess now with the Atelier versions, you can order a crazy-ass finish on it to match your floor. But I think that then it's boring. Yeah, I got both of those books. I need to get me the new one. At some point.
I have the second to last book, right? And it covers pretty much everything I'm interested in. I mean, the new
How much do they
books.
charge for the replacement? What's for the Grace? Any ideas? Well, at this point, it should be under warranty. Like that question should be
Yeah, but is
asked
it warranty
3 years in the
lose
future.
one?
Oh, if you lose one, that's your bad. I don't know how much, but I'm certain it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap. And I don't even know how would you replace the earbud to pair them back, because it's not like on the EXs, you have that in the menu where you can replace an earbud, but there is nothing such on the Grace in the app. That I don't think that they've even ventured as far as replacing the earbuds when they're faulty. I think it's just a straight exchange at this point. I don't see these things being serviceable in any easy form and fashion, unless maybe like you can harvest the aluminium of it. But I think that like where that line is right here, that's all what is probably going to get destroyed further on, because there's no way you can separate that. There's not a screw, not a seal, not a single thing on these. So they definitely, but yeah, there's a closer look on the squishy. They're very, very, very comfortable. I highly recommend them.
It's nice how slow it expands when you press it.
Yeah. Also, this little guy here, where is that little? See that little the notches? Yeah. No, not even the pinhole. Those little notch marks that are on the earbud itself.
Oh yeah.
Focus on this right here.
Yeah.
They're just enough for your thumb to feel, and that's where you pinch to control. I had mastered it now with it. The only thing I kind of sort of like and don't like is the volume tap on the side of your head, because sometimes when you scratch your ear, the volume goes down or up, depends on what ear is itchy, and it's kind of fucking annoying. You can also move that tap to be directly on the earbuds, but then it's
you muted yourself.
Yeah. So it's too much of that tap, right? And it gets annoying if you want to skip through not skip, but if you want to turn up the volume louder. But other than that, man, I guess keep still coming back to these Graces because they're just fantastic.
Can you turn the face tapping stuff off?
Off, yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. At least you're not stuck with that if you don't like it.
No, you can turn it off completely, and then you can just use your volume buttons on the phone to navigate the volume control.
Because just thinking, like, let's say you're the unicorn B&O seems to look for, right? Like, you're the grease monkey that works on Bugattis and Lambos and stuff like that. You're doing an oil change, right, on this Bugatti, because you charge as a mechanic like $500 an hour or something like that, and you're there with your nice gloves, as they all do, right? And then, like, it's full of oil, and you're fuck.
Right? How do they compare to other buds or compared to H100s? It's a tough comparison, I think, and I don't think that the statement that they've gone with is that their in-ear headphones is correct. But acoustically, I've spent, with H100s at Mikey's place, damn near 2 weeks of listening to them at least 3-4 hours a night.
Yeah, they were just gone from their stands sometimes. It's like, where the fuck did my headphones go?
I politely returned them on the day of my flight. So yeah, I've killed them about 3 or 4 times in the time period, completely to zero and recharge, blah, blah, blah. I listened to them through the USB. I listened to them through the Bluetooth. Obviously, that's much more cleaner, but back then my only comparison was Deezer. So the clarity of the sound is still little more refined when you go to the Tidal streaming service. But I think the biggest difference acoustically between them is the bass performance is not something that you can feel on your earlobes, obviously, because it's not a driver that's moving the air and everything around you in the space of the earbud or headphone. And I find them a little more detailed because they're in your fucking head, right? So it's just there's some sounds that honestly I haven't even heard on the 90s when I was listening to some of the tracks, but they're on par. They're on par. At that point, I think the only thing that matters is like, do you want something clunky and cumbersome to travel with, or do you want something that fits in your pocket or chest pocket and it has just as equal good sound?
Well, if you're talking about other things, things like battery life, right?
Caveat to battery life, yes.
I mean, the H100s literally last the hours they send on the box, and it's like 40 or something. I mean,
but yeah, they are like
for
in
the
your
amount
90s
of
or
hours
50s.
you use them and how little you had to charge them is kind of insane, right?
Oh yeah, no. I think that if I were to do that with the Graces, which I do it here now, I run through more or less 2 charging cycles a night just listening to them. It's still a novelty, right? So obviously, like, this will dim away as time passes by because the utility of them. Yes and no. I think the utility of them will remain the same because I still consume TV listening to through not just the 90s, because if you listen to podcasts and the people that have microphones attached to their tables and they bang their hands on the desk, like the 90s push a lot of bass because they pick up all this shit through the microphone, and you normally would never hear it on a podcast. But if you are, if you have these playing a voice, it's too much. So I always refer to headphones, and obviously 90s cannot cancel the hood fan no matter how much you try. So these have the grace. Well, they can cancel it, but they cancel the fuck out of everybody else too. That's the problem. So that's a lot of canceling being done at that point, including your own ears. So these work fine for that particular purpose.
I mean, yeah. I have found, right, like that this with normal listening volumes is accurate. 32 hours with ANC, which is a long ass time if you're using it for commuting in trains or planes or that sort of thing, right? Personally, I would say the earbuds are much more like if you walk or drive or that sort of thing. The over ears are much better for trains and planes and that sort of thing. If that's what you're getting them for. I mean, also the over ears are, I guess, more an at-home thing. Well, they're also so expensive, right? Like, part of the reason I like them black is because they're kind of unassuming.
Yes.
I have nothing against the Graces. It's that.
But to each their own. Like, I don't have anything against the H100s, but I just wouldn't own them because I'm not a headphone guy.
Yeah.
Like, I suffer through the podcast with these on, and then I take them off, and hour later after we get off the phone call, and then they don't get touched till next Sunday. I just, but the EXs and Graces are in my head every single day.
Yeah.
So it's to each their own, not everybody eats their steak medium rare, that's just where it's at.
I mean, if I fly to like the UK or whatever, right, like a set of over-ear cans is coming with me. Like if I'm in and around the airport, sure, I'll use my AirPods or whatever else, but in the plane, it's these. It's okay. Fuck the world. ANC Max. We're napping, listening to
and something. You know what? I guess in a sense that I have a set of EXs and a set of Grace. I can just alternate between those two while in the long flight. So and switching, I've done it before. Even when you're on the phone, which you're not going to be on the phone when you're in the airplane unless you pay for the Wi-Fi and you're on a call of some sorts. But I've done it with Nathan on the call having a cigar, where I've killed the Graces because I've been listening to him for a while, and we're having a cigar, so it's like at least a 2-hour call. And I switched to EXs. I just took one Grace off, put it in the case, took one EX, put it in, do the other one. And by the time I've done the exercise for the second ear, but the first one was already connected, so it never skipped a beat. Other than he said that my voice quality has changed, decreased / audibly, that he can tell that I am on the EXs, not the Graces anymore. including the microphone pickup of the surrounding noises and all that jazz. It's quite more significant on the EX than it has been with the Grace that I've and recently in the background of my life, a lot of things have happened in the past week. So I've been on the phone for a majority of the evenings with the Graces on, and yeah, I run them dry. I swap them over to EXs, and half an hour later, I'm back to 95 or 100% on the earbuds, and go from there. But they are the best earbuds I had ever owned in my life, like hands down, hands down. So yes, they're fucking expensive, but you really pay for what you get. And I think Chaba was the one that took the Apple Bullet and bought the EarPods or AirPods or whatever the fucks. And that gives you another reason to join the Discord and read his description and story. I'm not going to divulge too much of it, but the EarPods are good to be just regular beater around the house when you don't really care for the sound. But if you want to sit down and listen, the Grace just cannot be beat. It cannot be beat. It's the same thing when I gave my girlfriend EXs, and she's coming from the the AirPod culture type of thing. And one day she forgot to charge. She's very bad with charging habits, like very bad. Like I've never met a person that runs their phone in red numbers on the fucking battery. Like they never go green or white, whatever. It's always 2-3%. So she forgot to charge her earbuds, and then she took her AirPod whatever's. And she was just, oh my God, the sound quality. I'm like, see, and you said that you don't you're not an audiophile, but you know what? Everybody knows. It's the same thing. Like, I'm not a professional walker, but I can tell which shoe's more comfortable. So that also goes for the sound quality. And if you're buying the earbuds for sound quality and not, for the utility of, let's say you go to gym and you sweat profusely, I don't think the EXs, or the Graces are for that necessarily.
Speaking of that, this is actually totally incidental, right? I was wearing my EA 3.0s the other day.
Yeah.
And I was watching something, and somebody apparently on YouTube had a very good fucking mic, because I heard a background sound of chickens. And I was like, what the fuck? Do my neighbors have chickens? Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded so lifelike. And this was just a guy talking about something, but apparently in the background there were chickens. And I was
That's hilarious.
I can't tell if that was real or not. Like, I took him out and I only heard the chicken in one ear, right? It's like, and I'm a power user of AirPods, right? So I got my AirPod 2.0s, and it's like, okay, this sounds like it's coming from the video.
There's no volumetrics to it, I guess, or
like the AirPods are fine, right? Like, and I use them every day for hours, but it's because they're beaters, and I do things like currently I'm breaking down my bathroom and that sort of shit, right? If I destroy them doing that, annoying, but not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think that I would be quite happy with loading these little microphone holes with drywall dust and shit and things that the construction comes with and brings it, because there are on both sides, right? And there's those little pogo pins, like you see them, and these are the culprits that if they don't, if you get them crudted up, then they're not going to charge correctly either. So no, these are, I would call the church headphones. You don't take those to work.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I never considered the AirPod or the AirPod Pro 2s to be great, right? But even the EA 3.0s are, like, in terms of sound quality, just better. I mean, the real
they're
reason...
overly based. Like, there's too much bass, and that's the generation that everybody measures, or not everybody. I'm not gonna fucking put everybody in one bag, but most of the people in the younger generation also measure the sound quality by the volume of bass you get out of the speaker. The complete clarity and all that, that's not as important as does this fucking move the air and boom around me. That's the goal. Plus the music nowadays, if you listen to the mumble rap, you don't really want to have clarity on the voice because it's garbage anyways, but that's just my opinion. Some of this music is not even worth the Bluetooth bandwidth to go to the speaker. However, that's the day and age we live in.
I might just say, Mr. B. Santini asked, my router only shows 2.4, although the app says Y, so what's the purpose of the 2.4 connection for BeoLab 8s? Speakers nowadays are basically mini computers, right? So your Wi-Fi is the bit that does the streaming, the updating, all that sort of thing.
Yes.
WiSA is your connection to a BeoVision of some sort. It's the audio connection only, right? Yes, it works on a similar principle as a Wi-Fi, but it's not. That is like having an audio cable. That's all that WiSA does.
Mm-hmm.
It's one way, a one-way connection. It doesn't talk back and forth, other than if it drops, essentially. Like it's either there or it's not, and all it does is audio. So your Wi-Fi is for everything else. It's for the communication. It's for the data. It's the updating, the streaming.
Or if you have them stereo paired, then they play that way if the TV's off.
Yeah.
Which nowadays it's not recommended to have them stereo paired while you have them in the. Well, I guess that all goes out the window with the newer platform, because if you preferably use DPL, which has better bandwidth and sound quality as well, then the speakers are just part of that system. So the My buttons are now correlated to whatever the Premiere or Theater has set to them, and or BeoConnect Core for that fact, and that's it. At some point, the new Harmony will come out, maybe, and you'll have. Which would be cool, because if you did pair, let's say, a set of 28s or 8s, right, to the Harmony, new like 2.0 type of thing, then you now have buttons on the TV, which are on the speakers. Because there is really no buttons other than pairing button on the back of the panel to initiate pairing the remote control or pair it to the network. But there is no physical interface with the television at all.
So if only using 8s with Theater, then WiSA rules. No, I would actually say do the digital power link.
Yes.
Because when you use digital power link, that is still a wireless connection, right? It's still based on a Wi-Fi principle as such. But one of the things that changes is that it becomes two-way talk. So generally, people have said that the connection quality is better, and they may sound a bit better. I think it's hard to tell, but one of the mainly cool things, because it's two-way talk, is that the top of your speakers, right, that panel now becomes responsive to the theater. So I don't know, your theater's over there, your remote is over there. You can walk to one of your 8s and press pause play, but you can also use the My buttons that correspond to the My buttons on your theater.
Exactly. And the volume control on the Lab 8s will control the entire system globally.
That too, yes.
Not linked rooms, just however many speakers you get connected to the system of the theater, per se.
Another thing is that seemingly, right, as far as I can glean from current experiences, is that the digital power link connection is much less susceptible to channel switching.
Mm-hmm.
Because when your router gets too much interference on any channel, if it's not static, right, it starts going through the list of channels and sweeping to get the least amount of crosstalk from your neighbors or whom else, right? And that is not really affected on digital power link. Whereas WiSA, it doesn't like that, because WiSA lives slightly above the 5 gigahertz bandwidth, but some of the channels still sort of touch it, and then the speaker itself also starts doing the thing of we want less crosstalk.
Well, better you can do if you have 4 out of 6 of them as Dolby heights, then you still have 2 of them that are somewhere within the reasonable access and reach. So I would do those 4 up top as WiSA, and then do the other ones as DPL.
How does one?
Under sound settings, speaker connections, and then you have either DPL or I think DPL shows up on its own. You just need to reset the WiSA connection to the speaker or on the speaker in the app to reinitiate the purple light blinking, and that you are in the pairing mode for WiSA. Then you get out of that page, you go into the theater, go to sound connected speakers, and then scan for WiSA. The DPL speakers usually automatically populate.
Yeah, so
The only problem is they all fucking called BeoLab 8, so you have no idea which one is what and how. So if possible, and that's I guess one of the what I would call installers best practice, when I was doing these things, I would do them one at a time.
I mean, reset that page is essentially in the 8s.
Mm.
And then you go back to the theater, right? And you go to sound, and then you go to connected speaker.
Yes.
And then you add the digital power link, which is on the top.
And you're set up. I wouldn't remove them from WiSA one at a time. I'm more talking, well, with the DPL speakers, you can now, I think, I'm talking from the memories of when this was really not that developed in the app. But now I think you can just run a test tone where you can just play tone and they go doom. But they usually go at volume 10. So you got to put your fucking ear directly on them or turn the speaker up. Well, I guess I'm talking as heights, but turn the speaker up that you're messing with or trying to mess with. And then if you hear the doom, the tone, then you can assign it.
I would say test tones are like volume 40-ish now.
Oh, yeah? So they're audible now? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. I mean, I have so many speakers, I still sometimes have to do it more than once. Like, is it that one? Is it that one? Right?
Mm.
But it is audible that it's definitely not that one.
Okay. Because, yeah, that back in the, infancy of the DPL, when I was still involved with it, it was a little bit of an issue to locate which speaker was what. Back in the day, I think the speakers were listed with _serial number if you just adopted them and never renamed them, or you just name them based on what the role they're going to be in the DPL, and then they show up as a left surround.
Yeah.
So then you can add them that way too.
I think the biggest thing where to remove them from WiSA is from the theater, right? Just so it can't make a mistake that it's in your listening position. Mm-hmm. Because it'll be the same speaker twice, right? And it may not choose it correctly.
It fucks it up. I honestly, when you're starting to opening that kind of a can of worms and surgery on it, I would just factory reset the theater and start from scratch, clean it, purge it completely, and then just redo it from zero. Do your tuning again, and because it also matters too, and then you definitely will not have any issues. But adding and removing speakers from theater, my personal experience, they keep staying there for some reason. The recent updates to the app, and this has been a few months ago, that I've noticed that my lap 4s, which I had on transmitter 1s or receiver 1s hooked up to the theater just to see, basically to update the software on the receivers to check, right? Because the theater can do that with the WiSA receivers. And those speakers were never deleted till finally, whatever software update it came out, and I think they were only residing in the app, but nonetheless, that still can cause some confusion. So they are removed now. But back in the day when I was playing with that, even when I brought the 28s for one of the Christmas breaks to my old studio, I factory reset the theater, redone the tuning, and went from there.
Yeah, and you don't have to factory reset the panel and put all the passwords in again. That's not needed. Stuff, no. It's just the theater.
Just the theater.
Soundbar bit. I mean, and that way you walk through everything. Like, how do you want to connect it? Digital power link, right? Just make sure that the 8s are set out of WiSA, because WiSA is one of these things where it's like, if it's on WiSA, everything else doesn't work, right? By design.
Mm-hmm. Cat 7 is fine. even regular network cable, I think, would be just fine for the DPL because you're running data. You're not running actual
Cat
power link or
6A.
audio signal.
Cat
So
6A
I
is
would
even fine.
grab more soda.
If you have a good router, like if you have a Ubiquiti setup, right, you don't even need the cable necessarily.
No.
I mean, plenty of people are using DPL without a cable.
Well, but at the end of the day, the access point is created from the theater to all the DPL speakers. It doesn't really
Yes.
have anything to do with the network, essentially. If your theater is hardwired, it does its own thing with it, right? As far as the speakers. So,
I mean, even wireless DPL, I've seen next to no issues with.
I have my speakers connected wirelessly, like the 18s. I never have issues with them.
Yeah, but it's WiSA, right?
It's WiSA, exactly, but it's pretty busy as far as as far as the how much interference I have network wise in the apartment units, right? Like it's
yeah, all my 17s are WiSA too, and beyond one speaker being a bit wonky, but I suspect it's a speaker, not even the network, right? It works solid as a rock. And mostly because I think one of the speakers, the WiSA chip, is maybe going a bit. Because if I reset it, it works fine for like a month again, and then it maybe starts playing up a bit.
If I may recommend, get the boards, man, because now there's been a huge price increase on spare parts.
Yeah.
Like absolutely insane. I think the replacement chassis for BeoLab 5s are now 3,000 euros.
Yeah.
Which is doubled almost, if not more, from what it used to be. So I think that B&O's pushing the Lab 5s off the edge and more or less making them not worth of repairing anymore.
Well,
at the end of the day, they've been around for 23 years
whilst
now.
I don't like this, I don't think you can fully blame them, right? Because
it's starting to get harder and harder to get these same parts, man. Like,
well, that's the thing, right? Like, they're not responsible for producing all these capacitors and caps or the PCBs for that matter.
Just the boards itself, like they're specific to that speaker that is now 23 years ago.
Yeah. So whilst I don't like that it becomes this sort of price, I mean, at some point, like, you're dependent on your subcontractors for parts and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's say the DSP chip breaks or the EEPROM. Who the hell still makes an EEPROM?
God, you're fucked, man.
Yeah.
No, those are no fun. Those
back in those days, EEPROMs were normal, right? Because that's how you tuned cars. You got a new EEPROM and you put it in. Because it was like solid state data with pins. But like, that's not a thing anymore.
So,
like,
yeah.
That stopped being a thing like 20 years ago.
Same for the 3s. There's no panels. I mean, there's no parts available for the BeoLab 3s anymore. So, yeah, will the B&O be a lot cheaper here than in Canada? I'd love to get a BeoSound too. I think you're going to be making a room in your luggage.
Yes.
For a BeoSound too. I guarantee you that they're going to be cheaper than in Canada.
Bulgaria won't be any cheaper than anywhere else in Europe. It will be roughly the same unless you... I don't know if they have the euro or not, unless you get lucky with the conversion rate, right? But roughly it's the same price as everywhere else in Europe. But Europe is quite a bit cheaper than North America. I mean, for some reason, right? B&O has decided that the price in Europe must be commensurate with North America, except the price in Europe is including 21% sales tax generally on average wherever you go. And they take that, do that times whatever in dollars conversion rate, and then we pay more sales tax on top of that, right? Like
it's not fair. Is where it's at.
I mean, the difference in how you would actually calculate a commensurate price in the US for 90s. versus, let's say, the Netherlands, because it's 21% sales tax. Even if you account for the tariffs and all that sort of thing, it's still something like a 30 grand difference.
That's a lot.
Look, I'm not complaining because I'm not the one buying all this stuff at the moment, right? But it is like, it makes no sense in that. Because as soon as you have an established relationship with a European dealer, I found it to be literally cheaper to buy it from Europe, send it here, pay the import tax and or tariffs. And you're like, regardless of what you do, you're cheaper off. It's crazy.
That is insane, but it's that's the world we live in. Piano has been always more expensive in North America than Europe, ever since I started to get involved with it. Unfortunately, I've never seen the prices of piano back in Slovakia when I lived there in the late 90s. But here, it was way more expensive. Like, even comparatively to US, Canada was more expensive than US because the US dollar was stronger.
Yeah.
And we were importing the stuff from US for Canadian market because the Hellman was the major distributor for Bang & Olufsen for North America. So they had a huge warehouse and they were just pushing this to all the corners of the US and Canada as far as the shops were concerned. So
I mean, I've talked to many dealers over the time, right? And there are rules against this. Like, if you, let's say you're an American, right? Born and raised, never lived in Europe. It's not generally acceptable unless somebody over there wants to skirt the rules. But in essence, a European dealer cannot sell into North America unless they have an established relationship with that customer.
Yes.
In my case, it's like, I've lived there for so long. I've been with the same dealer for so long, right?
Yeah, then you retain that relationship.
Yeah, like, so that's how that works for me. But
I don't think you just call the dealer in UK or somewhere in Netherlands and just say, hey, bro, can you send me these?
I mean, some dealers are less scrupulous. I've heard that several times, even in the UK, right? But so generally, like, as a sort of franchise rules sort of thing, they shouldn't sell to brand new customers in other continents. Yes. It happens. The reason it works for me is that, like, if they want to say, oh, this, that, and the other, is like, I literally have a 10 plus year sales history with this one singular dealer. Like, I trust this guy, right? Like, I trust him if it were to go wrong to even come here. So at that point, like, how does B&O get a say?
No, they can't. And it's still cheaper, to, even if you were to pay to fly him out.
Yeah, but at this point, it's not like the cheaper bit is a sort of benefit, right? Like, it's not, I like doing business with this guy. Like, that it's cheaper is sort of nice now, but it wasn't exactly necessarily cheaper in the Netherlands, right? Like, it was just a dealer, but it was my dealer. His link is in the description, by the way. So if you're in the Netherlands and you'd like to support him, please do.
Give him a shout. Have I considered Vancouver? The Vancouver was on the table back in the yesteryears when I did
wasn't that
get turned around 4 years ago. And unfortunately, they just hired some guy, and I don't know. It just didn't work out at the time. Not going to elaborate on the details, but yes, I have been there and done that. I've done a lot of work in British Columbia anyways, because the clients that are from Alberta based, they own properties in, Invermere and Kelowna and so on and so forth. So it's still cheaper for them to buy from Calgary and get it installed there than doing it from Vancouver, because the tax is different. But no, quite honestly, every time I had driven to Vancouver, the weather was predominantly nice. But as soon as I opened the fucking door, it started to rain.
Yeah, I was just going to say, isn't that the place where it always rains all the time?
Always. Every time, even when I went to Brad's to load up the stuff for service, when I was driving past and whatever, I had a big job, and I stopped at his place to pick up all the stuff for service for Calgary. Nice ass fucking day. As soon as we opened the trunk to start loading, dude, the skies opened up. It was just like it was Truman Show, perfectly timed. So I had just gotten so tired of it, and that's one of those reasons that why I've opted out from Vancouver. But it was more the circumstantial because they couldn't get in, and I don't know. I think they at the time were a little bit scared of me with my potential versus what the potential was at the store at the time. So now it's there's balls in a few different courts now, so we'll see who's gonna pick it up and throw it back the fastest, and then we'll start playing that ball, make it worth my while, and I've been at it for so long that I have a lot of people calling me from all over the world for advice when it comes to B&O, I guess. Not to brag, but it's just a fact of reality now. As a more or less a public person for the company, we've been doing it for 8 years, and we haven't gone away. And we've helped a lot of people, and we've helped B&O too, solving their issues app-wise and software-wise. And
God, I've solved so much B&O through YouTube by accident, right? And just
remember the days during the quarantine when people had nothing to do, then send us drawings of their houses to design their systems?
Yes.
And then they just went to the dealer and bought $200K worth of shit.
Yeah.
So
B&O doesn't believe me this happened, even though I sent them all the stuff. But
yeah, there are a few people that are clients of B&O because of my presence, not just in Quebec's shop, but overall, when they call and discuss things with me, some reason, I guess they have more trust in what my word is over what the salesman's word is. But
I have that same feeling. Well, also, I'm not going to commission off of it, right? Like
I don't give a shit. I'll tell you what to do, because that's just the way that you don't have to eat Tylenol every night when you're trying to use your system. So, and it's just that simple. And I love what I do. And, B&O's been around, well, both of our lives. Yours more or less the entire life.
Pretty much.
I've been indoctrinated into it when I was 15 years old, and then it just never stopped and became a love of my life. And now we are where we are. 8 years of podcast, and since 15 years working with it, more or less. Now it's like an on and off working with it, but I'm still involved with it because they still call from the shop and ask questions, and how would you connect this? How would you design that system, and blah, blah, blah. Because I just see it.
I recently redid one of my core B&O memories.
Oh, yeah?
Because I still remember the day, and this was in the Netherlands. But this was very unique, right? Because my dad went all over the world all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And people forget that back in the day, movies didn't come out at the same time all over the world.
That's right.
America was like 6 months ahead of just about everywhere. And then sometimes the Netherlands would be like a year later for the same film, right? And there was no other way. But this was, God, this must have been 95 or 96. And this is a core memory because my dad came home in his new BMW that turned out to be a total fucking clunker because everything went wrong on that fucking car. Like literally to the point where like you had that glass open in the back, right? It wouldn't fucking lock anymore. So it would just flip open if you go over a speed hump. The literal door handle on the inside broke off. So you would have to open the window to get yourself out the car. Like everything was shit.
Getting out of a cop car, for God's sakes. Yeah. Back of the cop car, rather.
But he came home with a VHS of the original Lion King. And this wasn't out in cinemas yet in the Netherlands. And we put it on the Avant 28. And we put the VHS in the bottom. And we listened to it on... it was the Avant 28, Beolab 8000s, 4000s in the rear. I don't know if we had a
classic. Yeah, classic system. Fuck.
But I watched that film again, and it's like, God, fucking core B&O memory. somehow linked to Disney, but
Yeah,
it still sounds really good actually for the time. I mean, when it was made.
yeah. There's so many of those, but yeah, the core memories. That's how it all starts. It only takes a little bit, and you're in for life.
Yeah, I mean, but also being so young, right? Like this was like, and it was such a huge release. Like there were like ads, like go to cinemas.
Oh, dude, Lion King was a big deal. I remember that even in Slovakia, like it was a big deal.
Like in cinema soon, sort of thing, and we had it on fucking VHS.
Yeah, I think the movies usually would come in, I think, 2 years later to Slovakia versus what they were out in. Because a lot of the movies we also got on VHS versus before they even came out in the theaters. But yeah, the golden age of being young and the memories of making those memories. Yeah, that was a good time.
Are you flying next Sunday or are you there?
Monday, 6 a.m. So yeah, we can do a podcast on Sunday.
Well, if you're up for it.
Fucking right. Why not? What else am I gonna do? I'm gonna be stressed over anything. I'm gonna be packed by then anyways. So
all right,
it's gonna be a lot of packing. It's gonna be 30 days, I guess. So
enjoy the heat and all that. Have a good week, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe and all that. buymeacoffee.com/beawilly. See you.
Thanks for all the coffee. See you later.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, KCBR and Barry. Bye.
There you go. Take care, guys.